Right, welcome back to the channel, guys. Just mixed emotions right now. Like, I feel nervous. I'm excited. I don't know if I've made a massive mistake or not. I don't know if this engine works on this car. It's got 2,000 miles, but like as we've seen in the last video, from when this car got crashed through wherever it went to, like anything could have happened to it. Right, so what we've got to do on this car, we've got to get the rest of the interior stripped. I've got to get the dashboard sent away to be retrimmed because a new dashboard is I think about £3,000. And I don't want to spend £3,000 on a new dashboard. I've got to get the seat belts reset and I've got to get some airbags ordered. So I've got to get the inside of this car all stripped out and so it can all go back in. But I've also got to strip all that dash frame out to get to the pyrofuse, to change the pyrofuse. So I don't know if we'll be able to get the car started with it's all half stripped down, but I kind of just want to get the inside all done and finished. Also, I want to strip all the outside panels and have a look and see what parts I need. I do really need to write an inventory of all parts that I need and speak to Porsche and try and get all these parts ordered because I don't want any delays. I want to get this car done fairly quickly. So hopefully, fingers crossed, all goes well. Right, so where I'm at on this Porsche, I've dropped the headlining down because I had an issue with the sunroof. The sunroof issue is all sorted. But I had to take the headlining down anyway to get access to the curtain airbags. As you can see, like there's not much space in this car. It's very small. So I've took the seats out. Now the headlining normally on cars they come through the windscreen. Now the windscreen on this car is not damaged, so I don't intend to remove it. So the only option I have is to try and work around it, but I don't want to damage the headlining, so I'm trying to be extremely careful. So at the minute I've just bungeed it up just to keep it out of the way whilst I remove these rear quarters, because both these rear quarter trims need removing in order for me to access the seat belts and the rest of the airbags. So I need to take the seat belts out, the airbags out, working around the headlining. So I mean, some people would say, oh, why don't you get it out the door? It doesn't fit, and it's a bit like cardboard. If you bend it, it will crease and it's difficult to get the creases out. So I'm trying to cause as less damage as possible. I don't want to take the screen out because I can get someone to come take the screen out and put it back in, but I don't want to risk that and possibly cause leaks down in the future or unnecessarily take it out and in. Well, it is necessary, but it's not necessarily. Depends. Me weighing it up, I'd prefer not to and try and work around it without causing any damage or taking the glass out. So that's what I'm going to do. This two-part clip holds the rear backrests of the seats in. I remove the clip and both the backrests come out. The rear quarter panels lift upwards and then out. Just disconnect the electrical connectors and out it comes. It's one quarter out. Don't mind my production team. She wants my camera on her head as well.
Can you put that on my head?
This part of the curtain airbag is held in by 3 10mm nuts, and then it's just the electrical connector. One 10mm nut at the front and then clips all the way along the top. That's one curtain airbag out. 2 curtain airbags out. Now that the curtain airbags are successfully removed, it feels a lot better in here already. I'm going to get on with removing these front seat belts because they're both locked out. The driver and the passenger, the rear are fine. And I'm going to get on to removing the steering wheel airbag and then try and get this dashboard out today, so I will have the complete airbag kit out and ready to go. And then I'll start the framework that holds the dash. I don't know if it's a big job or what, but I know the steering has got to be disconnected, the heater, the cooling system's got to be disconnected, and the AC, but the AC is already burst on this, so it's a good thing, I guess. In this instance, 2 electrical connections on the seat belts, this 10mm bracket which holds the seatbelt back, and 3 multi-spline fixings and the seatbelt's out. To get this steering wheel airbag out, a T20 Torx screwdriver, something that's pretty much the same size all the way down. There's a hole just here, if you can see. You push this here in the hole, that's it. So you see it just popped off. Same again on the other side, it's just like that. Now obviously this always happens and is always the case. You can get these end connectors, so don't worry if you break these disconnecting them, because as you can see, look, they've melted. This explodes, it gets quite hot and it's melted the connectors. I'll try and get these off, but I think I'll de-pin and re-pin both these connectors and put new ones on. But yeah, normally that should pop up quite easily. The connector's finished. It's quite normal to see on an airbag that's exploded. Yeah, look, it's completely finished. Yeah, it's completely finished, but normal. That's completely normal. But that's one airbag out. Part code on there. Make sure you get the correct airbag, because they have different like rings and finishes. Also on these connectors, you'll have a part number on this connector as well. I'll just peel back this tape. VW it says on there, VW Audi. So I'll order 2 of them. They're pretty straightforward to change over. Look at that steering wheel. Oh, drive mode. Cast. Alcantara, look at that. Porsche call it Race Tex. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. Just the dashboard now. This centre section was already popped out. It must have jumped out when the airbags exploded. Just like that. 17mm. A 17mm socket released the clock. That was hard to do by hand. And these 2 dash vents just clip out. I noticed this when I first had a look in the car. Look where they're throwing bits in the car. They've damaged the centre armrest, Alcantara, but I might be able to get one of these. I mean, that does bother me, but I'm going to take the centre console out first. Normally, in most cases, centre console's got to come out before the dash anyway. And it will have to come out, so I'm just going to get this out. Remove the top trims and unveiled a load of T25 torque screws. Being extra careful with these carbon trims, they look expensive. There's screws hiding absolutely everywhere. Center console removed. So I removed 1 million connections from the center computer. That was scary. And out comes the instrument cluster. Yeah, mad, this is expensive, this is. Looking to break this. Definitely ain't looking to break this. And out comes the central computer display. Oh, still, there you go, it slides across. Yes. Yeah, lovely. Now this is the dashboard airbag. There's 3 airbag connections on here and 4 T30 torque screws, and it's out. And out comes the dash. It took me a lot longer, but I was so scared taking this apart. Now, to me, yeah. That's it, she's out. Scuttle panel, wipers, battery tray, this has all got to be removed in order to get the dashboard frame out. My little windscreen wiper tool, I haven't seen you in a while. And the scuttle panel is just clipped to the bottom of the windscreen, it just pulls out. And there they are. They're the E10 fixings that hold that dashboard framework in. I removed all the nuts and the bolts for the dashboard framework. And then I disconnected the steering. So I have to remove the battery to get to the AC pipes, and there's some cooling pipes as well that you have to take off to get to release that framework away from the firewall. So yeah, they're the two coolant pipes and they're the AC pipes. So I've got to remove this tray to get a bit more space. 4 multi-spline fixings, this out. Yeah, module, fuel pump module. Leave that like that. 1 8mm fixing for the AC pipe. And we clamped these cooling pipes because we didn't want coolant spilling out everywhere. These pipes were an absolute nightmare to try and remove. They were so tough. It was almost like they had seized to the pipe. One down, 1 to go. These 2 pipes were so tough. We moved the hose clamps up, down, round. We tried to separate the pipe from the hose using a glazing tool. This didn't work. The pipe was falling apart. It's almost sealed to that pipe. And all that just to get to this bad boy. And this is it here. This is the pyrofuse underneath this plastic cover. There's no way of getting to that without taking out that dashboard frame, because I was thinking, can I not get my hand through any of these and get to it? And there's absolutely no way, because not only is it beneath all that, but it's also underneath this cover. So I'm going to take this cover off, and this is the actual connection for it there. So that just comes off like that. This cover's got to come off. And there she is. There's the pyrofuse just there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to test continuity across this fuse. Nothing. So here's the new fuse. Listen. That's fine. So I'm going to take this fuse out, put it back, put the new one in, and hopefully that solves our starting issue and this vehicle will start. And if it doesn't, I don't know. I don't know what to do if it doesn't. I may have made an absolutely massive mistake, but I can just be hopeful, and hopefully that solves it. This new pyrofuse is from a Volkswagen Passat. I didn't even check with Porsche, but it's highly likely they'd want to sell me this whole unit for £500–600. Not happening. And in goes the new one. £18 off eBay that was. Put this cover back on. All back in. Lovely. What I've noticed as well is this carpet is a little damp, and like I can feel moisture in the foam. So I'm going to take both these carpets out and try and get them dried out and cleaned. We wet vac them and bring them inside the house. So on this side, to remove this carpet, I've got to remove the accelerator pedal, and I think that trim might be something holding that down. I need to have a look, and that should all come out. Just got to take that T30 Torx out of there, out of the accelerator pedal. And there's 2 clips, one there, one there. The passenger side, it looks like it's just them 2 clips, and that will just come out. So I'm going to do that now. These should now come out. Yeah, look, as I expected, water. It's a bit wet in here, only a little bit, not too bad. Give this a good dry out. Back seats are fine because they sit up higher.
This side don't look as bad. Doesn't look as any water this side, but better be safe than sorry. I'm planning on keeping this car for a bit. Well, I'd like to keep it forever, but...
How many have you seen a 911 looking like this?
Look at the rubber on this, how it's just seized onto the pipe. Got to try and clean that off before putting the new pipe on. That's why it was so difficult to get off. I thought that these are the guys on YouTube and social media that are trying to take these wheels off. I thought they was mocking it. I thought they was just trying to create funny content. I've tried to loosen this wheel now with this little bar. This little 1/2-inch bar, there's absolutely no chance. My back is going to break before the wheel nut comes off. I even thought that I was doing it the wrong way, and they had opposite directions of loosening and tightening. So I've managed to borrow 3/4-inch bar off a good friend of mine. I'm going to see how this goes, because what I noticed is that little bar, it was like bending. So see how we get on. It does actually say on the nut, loosen that direction, but anyway, see what happens. Yeah, boy. That's how you do it. That's loose. Jesus. Let's go around the next side. When loosening something so tight like this, there's absolutely no chance you're going to loosen it by pushing down, because you can only apply so much pressure of your body weight by doing that. So you'd have to stand on the ground, but on here it says tighten that way, loosen that way, so as you would normally. That's me done. Right, so now I've managed to get the wheels loose. We've got the car on axle stands. I'm going to take these wheels off, these front wheels, so I can assess the damage. That wheel's finished. Look at the wheel. Look at the shape of that.
How did you manage to take the wheel off? How did you take the wheel off?
How'd you take it off?
Yeah, did you manage?
Yeah.
With what?
Oh, I've got a big bar to take it off, commercial bar. So now I've got the wheel off, I can see look what's damaged. Outer track rod looks alright, but I might replace all this anyway. And having a look here, it looks like the balls popped out of the inner track rod to steering rack. It looks like it's just popped out. That's also a good sign, because hopefully I can just get that part where it's broke. It's going to be nowhere near as expensive as a steering rack would be. But look at them brake pads, brand new, 2,000 miles, look at that. This car's seen hardly anything. So you see, as the wheel's gone back there, it split this panel here. It's only a few mil thick, it's nothing structural. There is actually a structural bar there, which is alright, but that split there, look. The way to check is with a magnet. All this, it's just a panel, just to stop weather coming through. It's nothing structural, but you see that part there? Steel. Even through the aluminium, my magnet's sticking to it. But yeah, this is just aluminium, so that can just knock back and weld. I've got someone in mind, I think, to do this job, and I think a lot of you may know him.
He doesn't need no introduction.
There's an arm here which connects to the tub. This I believe is what breaks on a lot of cars, or like Matt Armstrong's GT3 and stuff. I think it snaps off here, this tub area. But this arm looks like it's gone back, but it's this arm here that looks bent. So I'm going to replace both of them arms anyway. The roll restrictor, that looks alright. The drop link is completely bent. There's the drop link there. Let's get it all stripped down so we can have a good look, and then go from there. I've got part numbers, I can order all the parts from Porsche.
The numbers. Now I know some of you guys have messaged me asking me, you didn't go through the numbers. Sorry, I was meant to. So what I paid for the car, I won the car in auction. My last and final bid was £56,750. Now Copart gave me a lovely little bill of £4,617. Thanks Copart. Collection was to about £210, fuel and everything. So in total, the car owes me just over £61,500. Now Copart valued this car at £122,000 or just over. Do you guys think that that's worth it? Getting a £122,000 car for half price. Now I know it's got a title, it's damaged recorded, so it hasn't got a clean title, and no one knows how much it's going to cost to repair. Now that's the thing. Buying a car from Copart, you're buying completely blind, unless you're famous and they give you VIP treatment and you can go down there and meet the lads. So I did ring Copart. They said I couldn't go down to the site. I couldn't view the car. All I could do was the virtual viewing. £10 it cost. So I did a virtual viewing on this car, and I'll bang a video up on it. If any of you guys are interested and are thinking about buying a car from Copart and not too sure and not too trustworthy about buying a car completely blind, what can you actually do? You can do an online viewing. It's a WhatsApp call for 20 minutes or so. Costs £10, and I'm going to bang mine up. So if any of you guys are interested, take a little look and you'll see exactly how it goes down. I know that this car is worth about £120,000. I have got the spec sheet, so I know the full spec sheet of the vehicle. I had looked on the Auto Trader and compared. Now, so you're probably thinking, but them vehicles you can't really compare to because they're not damage repaired. Now, I totally get that. There was 2 vehicles on Auto Trader that was damage repaired Cat S. Similarly to mine, older and higher mileage. One was for 86,000 and one was for £88,500. The £88,500 was more similar to mine, but I think mine is better. So I kind of do have an end figure, end value. I've got something to work from now. So from my £61,500, I've got roughly, well, I've got roughly 25 grand to play with in order to get my money back. Fingers crossed on this one. So guys, I'm just rebuilding my dream car on my driveway. No state-of-the-art facility, no garage, no team. I'm just figuring it out as I go along. So if you rate that and you want to see how it ends, just hit the subscribe. It's as simple as that. And don't forget the thumbs up. All the interaction helps.